Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to download this video ASAP. I waited till 4 a.m. to make this video. This is for all the people that actually got sleep last night. For you guys on the West Coast or other parts of the world, wherever you are in your day or your sleep cycle. I've been up all night watching what has been transpiring. And I want to catch you guys up on this. Okay? It looks like the Democrats are going to take both seats in Georgia. Yay! So it'll be 50-50 with Kamala Harris being the deciding vote. I'm guessing that people in other parts of the world, I think you're like, I know Bo, the fifth column, already explained it a few times of why this particular state's runoff, just these two Senate seats are so important. It can make a lot of difference between just gridlock and nonsense for the next 2 years with the Republican Senate blocking everything that our new president does, or as opposed to actually making progress, because now we have a deciding vote, a leading edge with if the Democrats take both seats. All right, Warnock, that race has been called. That one, he's won. Now, Perdue and Ossoff hasn't been called as of 4 a.m. this morning, but he was up by my last count. He was up by 7,000 votes. So it looks at this point right now, and the only the precincts yet to be tallied. I think 97% of the vote is in, and it's heavily Democrat counties that are still yet to be tallied. So it's looking good. Anything could still happen, but Warnock is called. That's a done deal. Great. Okay. There's a lot to talk about. Okay, I got to be careful how I phrase this. Overnight in New York, there was a breach of the air traffic control network. It's a closed system. It's, not anybody can talk to air traffic controllers. And a threat came on. A group, some New York air traffic controllers heard this. I heard this recording. They have it on CBS News this morning. It is a threat, and it basically says today, Wednesday, that a plane will be directed to the Washington D.C. Capitol in retaliation for the Soleimani incident January 3rd last year. Okay. It was a digital voice, so you couldn't make out if there was accents, because that was the first thing I listened for. Now, right off the bat, what was I made how many videos in the past talking to you guys about what I was worried about this being, I kept saying this, Trump is a trapped, a cornered animal. And I truly believe he does not have, that he will do absolutely anything to continue this nonsense. That he will not stop, period. Even if it means the destruction of our country. I seriously believe that. I don't think it's in his personality makeup. This narcissistic disorder that he has. All right. And I brought up the fact, and there's security, there's people in the U.S. government that are thinking along the same lines, that it's possible for Trump to start something. Even Iran has been speculating that Israel agents could attack American military to give Trump a reason to attack, like Iran nuclear, because they have been. Trump's ripping up our agreement with Iran, not working so well. They're enriching more uranium, and they're enriching a lot stronger uranium for bombs. So all the people that said, Obama was too easy, and we should never sign the agreement with Iran. It was working. At least we could go in there and verify. They were going along with it. They were abiding by it. Now, if you don't get it by now, I'm not going to waste 5 minutes of my life explaining it to you guys, to you Trump supporters. All right. So now think about it. Okay. It's a Wednesday with Trump supposedly making a speech in Washington, D.C. this morning. Thousands of his supporters looking to start all sorts of trouble, all gathered in Washington, D.C. already. A good portion of our government in the Capitol today to count these votes. It's a prime target. But it's also a perfect excuse for Donald Trump. His personal safety, the safety of thousands of his supporters, and then he could throw in the fact that, I'm sure he'd throw something in about the election. But personally, I have my doubts that this was Iran broadcasting ahead of time that what they're going to do. I saw an interesting video by an actual operator from a SEAL team a couple days ago. And he talked about, I think he called it OPSEC, operational security. Forgive me if I got that wrong. But he was kind of mocking he wasn't flat out mocking all the Trump people that are going to Washington, D.C. and talking about starting trouble and operations in D.C. and all this. He says, you guys are looking like fools because we have this thing called OPSEC, where we don't talk about, it's obvious that these people have no military training and they're just a bunch of insecure boys looking to bolster themselves amongst their peers. They have no training militarily. They don't know what they're doing because, like this guy said, we don't broadcast. We don't broadcast our movements ever. It's like the first rule. It was an interesting statement. So you think about Iran. Would Iran do this? What would they have to? What would they have to gain by broadcasting this 2 days ahead of time? Not much. Not much at all. It doesn't make any sense, as a matter of fact. It would give time for them to be hit by Donald Trump, to be attacked, for their nuclear enrichment areas to be attacked. It'd be the stupidest thing to do for Iran if you really think about it. Maybe after they might want to claim, if it was them, they might want to claim responsibility after it happened. But I don't ever remember hearing anybody claiming responsibility or broadcasting what they were going to do for a T attack beforehand. Ever. It sounds like a Trump. It sounds like a Trump supporter or somebody tied right to Donald Trump. Just stirring the pot of everything that's going to go on in Washington today. All right, one more thing I want to talk about. Jacob Blake. So it came back that the officer that hit him in the back, I have to be careful how I phrase these words because I don't want to lose my advertising. Jacob Blake, now paralyzed, hit 7 times in the back by a policeman. He's not going to be charged. They went over and over and over these videos. Supposedly, I don't see the instrument in Jacob Blake's hand that they say they slow down this video, and I don't see it. I really don't. I honestly do not see it. They say he's holding one as he goes around the car. Now they're saying that the officers were afraid that he was going to kidnap the child in the car. I know. I've been paying my undivided attention to all these stories. And I know for a fact that initially the police were saying they did not know that a child was in the car because they hit him 7 times in the back in front of his child in the back seat, firing into the car. And they specifically said they did not know that there was any children in the car. I remember hearing that over and over and over because people were mentioning that this happened right in front of his kids, right on the other side of him. Not only what the kids witnessed, but the actual act of violence occurring so close to these children. All right? And now they're saying that they were protecting the children in the car because they thought he was going to kidnap them. Wow. It's like a lot of times people like this, they don't think, and a lot of times they're right. They think we have short-term memories. And Donald Trump is excellent at this. He'll change history. He'll try to change what he said. He'll change the phone call that he made. He's already spinning that like, oh, that's nothing. The media is just attacking me on that. It's nothing. Because he can't say anything else, because he was cold busted. Anyway, back to Jacob Blake. I just want to point out, now the National Guard closed in, went to Kenosha last night. All peaceful protests. As far I've checked everywhere, all peaceful protests. The plywood, all the buildings were boarded up, just in case National Guard showed up. All peaceful protests. This is for the Trump supporters watching. They don't want to make a big deal of how they're going to go to Washington today and cause all sorts of mayhem with these things that aren't supposed to be in Washington, D.C. I'm talking about the Second Amendment. And saying, well, if BLM could do it, we could do it. No, you're the only ones doing it. And you're overthrowing our Constitution and our country is what you're doing. So going back to Washington now, all of Washington's boarded up, National Guard going there. And these guys are promising that they're going to start trouble there today. So hypocrisy doesn't look so good on you guys. I don't want to ever hear another Trump supporter complain about BLM or the AF destroying cities, because it looks like Trump is going to whip his supporters into a frenzy this morning, especially God knows what he's going to say after the Democrats both won the Senate seats in Georgia. So I'm going to be back today. This is just the first. So to reiterate, a threat, air traffic controllers in New York heard a threat supposedly from Iran about the Washington Capitol being targeted with a plane today. Peaceful protests in Kenosha. And it looks like that both Senate seats are going to be Democrats. I'll be back later with another video. I see I've run long on time. I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes so you guys don't have to. I'm pretty sure they put in another commercial at 10 minutes. So I try to keep it under 10 minutes so you guys don't have to endure another commercial. All right, I'll be back later with another video.